Rusty and Dice, and today's quest is player side rolling. All right, we're going to talk about this. If you don't know what player side rolling is where the players roll all the dice and the GM doesn't roll. Now, why would you want that? Well, if the player is rolling all the dice, it frees the GM up from to do their job more. You know, the helping with the narrative and the story and all the stuff that a GM does. It frees them up to do that rather than dice roll and dice roll and dice roll. It also, in my opinion, moves things along a little quicker. So, because I mean, if you played a game of D&D 5e, especially when you get past 3rd level and up, you know, you do your turn and then it seems like it takes quite a while for it to come back to you and for you to get another turn. Also, player side rolling keeps the player engaged more because they're not only rolling on their turn, they're rolling on the GM's turn as well, instead of just sitting there kind of waiting for their turn to come back around, maybe fiddling on Facebook on their phone. So, player side rolling, I had seen a video by Runehammer, the creator of Index Card RPG, and he was talking about Numenera, which uses the Cipher system, and the Cipher system is known for player side rolling. Here's the Cipher system. Blah, blah. Yeah, the Cipher system is known for player side rolling. In the Cipher system, in Numenera, only the players roll, really. The GM makes very few rolls. And like I said, that frees the GM up to do GM stuff. And in Runehammer's video, he talks about how you can bring player side rolling into D&D. Now, he doesn't give a method for that, but it got me thinking, how would I do it? And, well, I decided to start tinkering. And that's what this video is about. I tinkered and what I found, and I have a method for you if you want to try it out, that I believe works. So, here we go. Okay, so normally, this is our player, and this is our monster. Normally, it's the player's turn. They roll to attack, okay? And then it goes around the table and it gets to the monster's turn. The monster rolls to attack, tries to beat the player's AC, and then turn flow continues until it comes back to the player and the player rolls to attack, okay? Instead, what we're going to do is the player rolls to attack, and then it comes to the monster's turn and the player's going to roll to defend, okay? So it's like, it's almost, think of like a constitution save or a dexterity save, but instead of doing a save, you're doing like a defense roll. Maybe call it a defense save. I don't know. But that's what it's going to be like. Instead of the monster rolling to attack, the player is going to roll to defend. Okay? So, how do we... But for the player to roll to defend, they have to have a number that they got to try to meet or exceed. When I first came up with a method, it was a roll under method, and it worked. But the problem was the player would roll to attack, and they're trying to get equal or greater, and then the monster would attack the player, and they were trying to roll equal to or lesser, and it was not very intuitive because you're going, you know, on one you're trying to roll over, and then on the other one you're trying to roll under. So I wanted both rolls to be a roll equal or over. So here is the I'm going to give you guys the the formula that I use. So here's how you calculate the defense difficulty. The number that the player has to roll equal to or over to defend against the monster's attack. Okay? So you take 20 minus the player's AC, okay? You get that result, and then you add the enemy's attack bonus, okay? So let's say their AC is 12, okay? So 20 minus 12 is 8 plus the enemy's attack bonus. Let's say the enemy's attack bonus is 5, okay? So 8 plus 5 is 13. That player has to roll a 13 or better to defend against that attack, okay? So the player rolls their attack. Hey, they hit, they do damage, da-da-da-da-da, and then it comes to the monster's turn. The monster is attacking. Now the player, not the monster, not the GM, but the player rolls to defend against the attack. Like I said, they got to roll a 13 or better. Oh, rolled a 4, so they did not defend, and they take damage, okay? We're going to do another example. Okay, so we'll say that we have a player named, let's say we have a player named Cassie, and Cassie's ranger has an AC of 15, and she's fighting a giant spider, even though this is a giant crab. We'll say it's a giant spider, and a giant spider has an attack bonus of +7, okay? So, to figure out the first part, 20 minus the AC, you're looking at, if I can get my cards to unstick here, there we go. 20 minus her 15 armor class gives us 5, okay? So then we take that 5 and we add the enemy's attack bonus, which is 7, giving us 12. That is 12 is the defense difficulty the player has to roll or higher. Okay? So the player attacks 16, I hit, roll damage. Now the monster is attacking the player. She has to roll a 12 or better. Oh, 16, she defended. Okay, she's not hit. And continue. Now notice how in my method takes into account the player's AC. And that's really important because a lot of equipment, a lot of spells, a lot of abilities, all modify the AC. And if you just ignore the AC, I mean, that makes those all those game things, the equipment, the abilities, the spells, it makes all those mute. And or moot. I don't know. You know the word I'm thinking of. So you have to take in the player's AC into account. And so that's what my method of doing this does. 20 minus the AC plus the enemy's attack bonus, okay? And you may think, well, you know, and the GM does this math for the player. So if I was running the game, I would be like, okay, do your attack, and it comes around to my turn. I've already done the math for the player. I'll say, okay, roll to defend. You got to roll a 12 or better. 10. All right, you got hit. And then instead of rolling for damage, I use flat damage. So it would be like this. Okay. The giant spider, even though it's a giant crab, the giant spider attacks you, attacks your ranger, Cassie. You have to roll 12 or better. She rolled a 5. I use flat damage. So under the giant spider's attack, you know, let's say that the flat damage is 5. So I say, okay, you take 5 damage. Next person in the initiative order. All right, so you notice how the GM didn't have to roll to attack and then roll damage. No, it's you roll to defend, so the player is engaged on the GM's turn. And then if they're hit, I just give flat damage and then move on to the next person in the initiative order. And it just keeps things rolling. And in my opinion, it's quicker. I haven't got to run a full session using these rules, but I got to run a mock battle with 2 players, and that's what one said. He said it felt like it went quicker. Now another player said that she didn't understand why her defense, what she had to roll to defend, and what the other person had to roll to defend was different. So maybe the GM has to explain to them how we got the defense number. That it takes into account the player's AC, and their ACs were different. I think one AC was 19 and the other one was 15. So she didn't understand why she had to. She had a harder roll than the character with an AC of 19. So as a GM, be prepared to explain where you got those numbers. But yeah, so once again, the player would roll their attack, I didn't hit, okay, da. Now it comes to the monster's turn. Monster attacks your character, Cassie. Roll a defense roll. You got to roll 12 or better. She rolls. Oh, she got a 20. Yep, you defended and with gusto, okay? Next person in the initiative order. Let's say she rolled a 4 though. Okay, Cassie, you failed your defense roll. You take 5 damage. Next person in the initiative order. To me, I like player side rolling. And I like flat damage. To me, it just makes things go quicker, smoother. At the same time, I have a player who doesn't want to implement these changes, and so I probably won't, because I don't want to force my players into a game that they don't want to play. You know what I mean? So it's something that you want to talk with your players about. Now that player, his protest is that he doesn't like mechanics from other systems being brought into D&D. I think of it more like a homebrew, trying new things type approach. He sees it as like another game kind of being shoved into D&D. I get his perspective, and I'll see if he's cool with me just trying it for maybe a session, and then after that, if he still has a protest about it, then we don't have to do it. You know what I mean? I want to keep my players happy. But at the same time, I think there's a lot of benefits to doing player side rolling. And I think how I would do it is at the start of the game, before we even start the session, I would take an index card and I would already do, I would write base defense. And I would write like initials, DM, TS, FJ, and we'll say SN, okay? And I would go around the table and I would ask their armor class if I didn't already know it. And let's say DM's armor class is 15. Okay, 20 minus 15, 5. TS, what's your armor class? Oh, it's 13. Okay, so 7. FJ, what's your armor class? It's 18. Okay, so 2. Oh, well, can't even write. Okay, 2. SN, what's your armor class? Oh, it's 11. Okay, so that's 9. So I would have their base defense already written down, and then as we're playing and I get monsters coming up and attacking, say I got this monster who has let's say a +3 to their attack, I would say, okay, DM, he's attacking you. and then I would look at their base defense, which is 5, and for DM, and I would add the monsters attack bonus, so that's which was a +3. So I'd say, okay, DM, you got to beat an 8, you got to roll an 8 or better on your defense roll. Oh, you got a 12. All right, you did it. Or you know, let's say you know, this dragon comes up and he has an attack bonus of, I don't know, let's say +9, you know, and he's attacking, let's say SN. So 9 plus the attack bonus of the monster, which is 9, so 8. So I'd say, okay, SN, you have to roll an 18 or better. 19. Oh, SN defended, man. Wow, SN is killing it. You know. So yeah, I would have the 20 minus the AC. I would already have that written down on an index card so that when various monsters came up with their various attack bonuses, I could just do the math real quick behind the GM screen and give those defense numbers to people whenever they needed to roll a defense roll. I hope everything I said made sense. It makes sense in my own head, but it may not make sense in other people's heads. So if you have any questions, you know, feel free to contact me. My email is dustyanddice. That's and is AND. dustyanddice at gmail.com. Put in the subject patron. That way I know that you are a patron, and I'll try to get to everyone's question like within a week. You know, I have kids and I have a full-time job, so if I don't get back to you, you know, same day, please don't take it wrong. But you know, I'll try to get back to you within a week. So if you have questions on this, feel free to email me. My patrons are super awesome, and they're supporting the channel. They're supporting me and my efforts, and I will do my best to try to get back to you and answer any questions. I'm not saying that this is a bulletproof system or a bulletproof method, but and there's probably room for improvement. I'm not lying there, but I think it works. And if you all try it, you know, shoot me an email and let me know how that went. And if you have any ideas on how to improve it, shoot me those emails too. You know, let me know how it went, and any tweaks that you made that made it work even better. You know, I'm interested. I want to hear from you guys. So anyway, that's my method for player side rolling. I hope it made sense. Thank you all for being my patrons and for supporting the channel, supporting me. I can't tell you how much that means. And hey, grab some friends and roll some dice, bruh.